The John the Baptist story is quite germane to this whole quest, and it's obvious that whoever was creating the Christian effort wanted to incorporate this very important cultus of Oannes the baptizer, or the purifier, or Anubis the purifier. And you find actually, here we go with the different cultural manifestations of the same concept. We have this Anubis the purifier in Egypt who anoints Osiris, and actually in essence giving him eternal life in almost exactly the same way as Jesus is anointed by John the Baptist. And of course this, again, the focus on John the Baptist in the Gospel of John is indicative again of its pandering or playing to the Egyptian audience in that regard, because Anubis, the purifier, was huge. Of course, because everybody dies. Anubis is the god of the transition between life and death, and he purifies the Osiris, the dead person, to move on to eternal life. And what may not be realized is that at the time when that story was, or at the time when Christianity was being created, the Egyptian gods, a number of them, Osiris, Horus, Isis, and Anubis, were hugely important around the Mediterranean. Isis was like the goddess, you know, she was, I mean, we had all these great Greek goddesses as well, and the Roman ones, but Isis was quite dominant at that time, and her sidekick is Anubis. So it's not like this was some obscure figure, this Anubis the purifier. And On, John, Oannes, all that On sound in their names. John the Baptist in that other Babylonian region, Oannes the baptizer there as well. It's clear that those are two of the major factors that were used to create John the Baptist. Now, what does John the Baptist signify astrotheologically? There's this passage at John 3:30 that has the Baptist, John the Baptist, saying, "He must increase, but I must decrease." And this strange verse makes little sense when applied to a human being. If you see that John the Baptist is a mythical remake of Anubis, the purifier or baptizer, then it starts to make more sense, because Anubis is associated with the summer solstice. And oddly enough, so is John. John's feast day is on the summer solstice, so he's born 6 months before Jesus at the winter solstice. And Anubis is is part of this summer solstice development. Now, and interestingly enough, Osiris is the winter solstice, associated with the winter solstice. They're actually personifications of these times of the year. So we have John, Anubis, and Osiris and Jesus. And now you can understand this strange verse, "He must increase, but I must decrease," because the summer solstice sun is decreasing as it approaches the winter solstice, at which point the winter solstice sun increases. So here we have a incorporation of clearly an Egyptian motif. Osiris, the personification of the winter solstice, Anubis, the personification of the summer solstice. So even if Christ's birthday was not overtly celebrated at the winter solstice until a few centuries later, if we look at that text, if we look at that verse, we have to think, well, they're spelling it out right there, that he was supposed to be born on the winter solstice in the New Testament. So it's not just some incorporation centuries later. And I think that that's clear. I think that makes more sense. This is just one part of the New Testament that you can dissect in this way to see what are the external influences on it.
The truth is more surprising than anything you might imagine.
It's good stuff, isn't it? It's such good stuff.
Really good
I'm just trying to share all this good stuff. Everybody gets mad at me.
Such a good job.